Browsing social media becomes linked to your mind wandering at work. Subsequently, checking Facebook may trigger the urge to check Instagram, which then prompts you to visit YouTube, resulting in 20 minutes of unproductive time. As you repeatedly engage in these habit loops, they become more potent and automatic. If you aspire to improve your fitness, surrounding yourself with individuals who prioritize physical health can significantly support your fitness journey. So a small change in what we can see can lead to the big change in what we do. The average person spends 2.5 hours every day on social media, and if you find yourself saying you don't have time to do something, it usually means you do not have the motivation or the discipline to spend time on that thing. If we want to change our lives, we are often told that we need to think big, make drastic changes, or perhaps even move across continents. But what if we could achieve major transformations just through a small tweaks in our daily routines? So today, I'll be talking about a powerful lessons I have learned from this amazing book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and how this has helped me to find pockets of time throughout my day that I didn't know I had, and doing these things is what has helped me to be more productive and be more focused. If you're new here, I'm Sandesh. I try to make videos on productivity, mindfulness, and sometimes on personal finance. It is by far one of the best books I have read on habit formation, on how to create good habits and break the bad ones. A large portion of your daily actions are driven by your automatic habits that have formed through repetition over the course of your entire life, and naturally there are healthy and productive habits that serve you and negative ones that work against you. In either case, you are what you repeatedly do, so you owe it to yourself to deepen your understanding of habits, how they work, how they have formed and broken, and how you could use them to create the best version of yourself. This is what Atomic Habits are all about, showing you how small adjustments can lead to the massive transformation in your life. Progress is not overnight. James Clear hits the nail on the head when he describes breakthrough movements as a result of many previous actions. You don't simply work out for 1 month and see huge body transformation. Habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. He describes this value of disappointment in the early and middle stages, where you are expecting to make a linear progress. However, those most powerful outcomes are delayed to make a meaningful difference. Habits must persist past the value of disappointment and cross the plateau of latent potential. If you make tiny 1% improvements on something daily, in the course of 1 year, you end up being 37 times better. Now that is huge. Now let's get to these 2 important lessons from the book to get more insights. Lesson 1. Goals versus systems. Instead of focusing on goals, concentrate on systems. A goal represents a desired outcome, while systems encompass the process leading to those outcomes. The traditional belief is that the most effective way to achieve anything, such as improving fitness, building a successful business, or even spending more time with family, is to set specific attainable goals. Consider this perspective. What if we were to shift our focus away from our goals and instead prioritize the development of effective systems? According to author, success could still be achieved through this approach. One key issue with solely emphasizing goals is that both successful and unsuccessful individuals often share the same goals, suggesting that goals alone may not be the defining factor that sets winners apart from losers. Additionally, attaining a goal may only deliver a temporary impact on one's life. The pursuit of goals can create a binary outcome: success upon goal achievement and failure in its absence. Even if progress is made while working towards a goal, what happens once that goal is reached? For instance, if the objective was to complete a local marathon, the motivation to maintain the achieved level of progress may diminish quickly, leading one back to old routines. It is argued that while goals serve the purpose of setting a direction, systems are the more effective for sustaining and advancing progress. Lesson number 2, the habit loop. Now this is quite important one. The habit loop is when something has been repeated enough times that it becomes automatic. Ultimately, we want our habits to solve problems in our life with the least amount of effort. A habit is formed and reinforced by means of continuous feedback loop. Cue plus craving plus response plus reward. The key to creating habits that stick is to create feedback loops that are continuously being improved. Let's take this instance. Cue, a phone buzz. Craving, want to know who messaged. Response, pick up the phone. Reward, solve the problem of who messaged. Take one more instance. Cue, mind goes blank at work. Craving wants to elevate the frustration. Response, check social media. Now the reward is satisfy the needs to feel less frustrated. As time goes by, you become connected to rewards. For instance, in this scenario, browsing social media becomes linked to your mind wandering at work. Subsequently, checking Facebook may trigger the urge to check Instagram, which then prompts you to visit YouTube, resulting in 20 minutes of unproductive time. As you repeatedly engage in these habit loops, they become more potent and automatic. Cues can take various forms such as scent, a sound, a visual, a person, or even a location. Take a moment to identify any cues in your daily routine that set off your positive or negative habit loops. So how can we influence the habit loop to work for us? This book shows us the 4 laws that will guide us to do just that. Law number 1. Make it obvious. When it comes to cues like the buzzing of our phone or the act of drinking coffee, we are prompted to check our messages or brush our teeth. Once you understand how our actions can be influenced by certain stimuli, you can learn to manipulate the cues to implement better habits. An administrative representative at a government office in Malaysia believed that she can improve the eating habits of thousands of staff simply by manipulating their environment. She decided to replace aerated drinks with bottled water next to the reception and every drinking station across the office and cafeteria. Over the next 3 months, the number of bottled water sales increased by 40% and soda sales drastically dropped. By making such simple adjustments, people made healthier choices because the cue to drink water was more prevalent than soda. Visual cues are among the highest motivations for behaviors. Therefore, a small change in what we can see can lead to the big change in what we do. For instance, luckily we can design our environments. Place a visible prompts of your routine in spots where you'll frequently see them. For example, if you wish to increase your water intake, place a water bottle on your desk or nearby when you sleep. A habit combination. Connect a new routine with an existing one. If you already brush your teeth every morning, add a new habit, such as doing 5 push-ups right after brushing your teeth. Establishing clear signals. Be precise. Clearly define when and where you carry out your new habit. Instead of saying I'll exercise more, specify I'll go for a 30-minute run at 7 a.m. in the park. Utilize visual reminders. Leave notes or set alarms to remind you of your habits. For example, if you want to read more, place a book next to your bed where you see it before going to sleep. Improving awareness. Monitor your habits. Use a habit tracker or a journal to supervise your progress. Visualizing your progress can make the habit more conspicuous and keep you motivated. Regularly reflect. Take a time to assess your habits and how they fit into your daily routine. This helps you comprehend what works and what needs to adjust. Simplify your habits. Minimize resistance. Make the desired habits as simple to start as possible. For example, if you want to eat healthier, keep healthy snacks readily available and refrain from purchasing the unhealthy food. Make the unwanted habits less evident. Conceal temptations. If you're aiming to reduce social media usage, move apps to the second screen of your phone or log out after each use to create an extra step before accessing them. Alter your environment. Modify your surroundings to make undesirable habits less convenient. For instance, if you want to consume less unhealthy food, don't store it in your house. By making habits obvious, you increase the likelihood that you remember to do them and make them a consistent part of your routine. Law number 2, make it attractive. When we expect to be rewarded, we take action. The more rewarding an action is, the more likely we are to repeat it until it becomes a habit. Hence, the first step to forming a good habit is to make them more attractive. Understanding how dopamine affects your body will help you for sure. Dopamine plays a critical role in influencing our motivation levels. As both a hormone and a neurotransmitter, it can significantly impact our drive to take action. Scientists have discovered that dopamine levels are closely linked to the onset of cravings. And by measuring this neurotransmitter, they can potentially identify the precise moment when craving arises. While dopamine was previously believed to be primarily associated with pleasure, we now understand its importance in various neurological functions such as motivation, memory, learning, punishment, and even a voluntary movement. An interesting observation is that gambling addicts experience a surge of dopamine levels just before they place a bet. rather than after they win. This highlights the role of dopamine in the anticipation and pursuit of rewarding experiences. Let's dive deeper into dopamine spikes. Using social media or even eating a junk food are also associated with high level of dopamine and are highly habit forming. The hormone dopamine is released not only when we experience pleasure, but also when we anticipate it. Think going on a vacation. Sometimes the thinking and anticipation of a vacation is better than the actual vacation. Seeing the junk food you desire surges dopamine, not after eating it. Craving is what causes us to take action in the first place. Making our habits attractive is vital because it is the expectation of rewarding experience that drives us to act. Here you can use the strategy known as temptation bundling. The temptation bundling process makes a habit more attractive by combining an action we need to do with one we want to do. For example, if you could bundle watching Netflix with working out, temptation bundling applies a psychology principle known as Premack's principle. Developed by Professor David Premack, the Premack principle states that the more probable behaviors will reinforce less probable behaviors. In other words, even if you're not looking forward to do some exercise, you become conditioned to do it because you get to do something else you really enjoy. Group influences plays a significant role in shaping our behavior. We often find ourselves contemplating what will people think of me and adjusting our actions based on the potential response. Our closest companions and the groups we are associated with also impact on our decisions and behaviors. When striving to adopt a new habit, one of the most efficient methods to reinforce the habit to seek out to have a substantiate into a community where that behavior is the norm. For instance, if you aspire to improve your fitness, surrounding yourself with individuals who prioritize physical health can significantly support your fitness journey. Primal motivators. The source of craving in a normal everyday life, you wouldn't say something to yourself like, I want to eat this pizza because I need to consume this food to survive. Surface level cravings are merely manifestations of our deeper underlying motives. And these underlying motives guide our behavior. Your brain did not evolve with a desire to smoke cigarettes or check Instagram every 5 minutes or even play video games. Online platforms and products do not invent new motivations, but rather appeal to the underlying motives of human nature that we have to gain our attention. By highlighting the benefits of habit rather than its downsides, you can quickly reprogram your mind and make it seem more appealing. For example, fitness is equal to health and well-being and not a fatigue. Or cleaning the house is equal to environment conducive to peace of mind and not wasted time. Or saving money is equal to future financial freedom and not a sacrifice. These small shifts in mindset aren't magic, but they can change your feelings towards some habit situation. Law number 3, make it easy. How much time does it take to develop a new habit? During the process of habit formation, a behavior becomes more automatic with each repetition. When you repeat an action, your brain adapts to make it more efficient. Even before neuroscientists dwelled into the formation of habits, it was recognized that repetition was a powerful tool of establishing them. Each time you repeat a habit, you engage specific neural circuits associated with it. Therefore, it's inaccurate to frame habit formation in terms of time. Instead, it could be viewed in terms of number of repetitions. Let's talk about how to apply these principles efficiently. Reduce friction. For example, if you want to start an exercise in the morning, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Removes the barrier of having to search for what to wear. Or keep your gym bag packed and ready to go so you can head straight to the gym after work without needing to gather your things. Number 2, use the 2-minute rule. Example, break down your habit into a smaller, manageable tasks that takes less than 2 minutes to complete. Instead of committing to a full workout, start with doing 1 push-up or stretching for 1 minute. Or if you want to read more, commit reading 1 page of a book each night before bed. The small action builds momentum and makes the habit easier to maintain. Number 3, master the art of habit stacking. For example, pair your new habit with an already established one. For instance, if you want to develop a habit of journaling, do it right after you finish brushing your teeth in the morning. Or after dinner, immediately wash the dishes instead of leaving them for later. This integrates the habit seamlessly into your daily routine. Number 4, make good habits obvious, or even set up visual cues that remind you to practice your habit. For instance, place a sticky notes on your bathroom mirror reminding you to meditate for 5 minutes each day. Law 4, make it satisfying. The process of establishing a habit is challenging because the human brain has not completely adapted to it yet. This is due to the concept of delayed gratification, where you choose to sacrifice immediate rewards in favor of potentially better future reward. In modern life, we often make long-term plans that require substantial effort, money, and time, but may not yield result for a significant period. This is more prevalent in today's world, as we can anticipate a future existence, unlike our ancestors who lived as hunter-gatherers and prioritized immediate gains due to the uncertain future prospects, mainly for survival. The ingrained brain wiring takes a considerable amount of time to change, and although our external environment has evolved rapidly over thousands of years, our brain wiring hasn't caught up. As a result, most people seek instant gratification throughout the day, which may hinder the development of strong habits, as many habits do not provide immediate satisfaction and demand discipline to work towards their ultimate objective. Therefore, it is crucial to incorporate short-term rewards alongside the long-term benefits derived from the habit. However, it's important to set up these rewards thoughtfully. For instance, if you're a runner aiming to run every day, rewarding yourself with an unhealthy snack might not be the best approach, as it could counteract the calories burnt and potentially lead to forming a detrimental habit. Instead, opt for a short-term reward that stands on its own merits, such as listening to an audiobook or reading a fiction book after you run, or even simple pleasure of checking off a task on your to-do list. Finding these short-term rewards and implementing creative strategies can be highly beneficial. Additionally, it's essential to avoid making secondary errors that could exacerbate initial failures, ensuring that mistakes remain in the past without causing further harm. The significant strength of Atomic Habits lies in its focus on systems over goals, processes over outcomes, and minor habits over the major ones. There is no exact timeline for habit formation because habits are not a destination, but rather a way of life. Atomic habits may be small on their own, but collectively and over time, they have the potential to bring about significant change in our lives. Thank you very much for watching this video. Do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll see you hopefully in the next video. Bye-bye.